Hello, February 24th. Happy birthday, Oti, from Aunt Carmen and Uncle Jed. Happy birthday, Nelly, of course, from us. So today is a day full of birthdays. But above all, I want to thank God for the fact that I'm on Earth today, being able to experience all the wonderful things that life brings. And today I wanted to talk about power versus authority, and the fact that have you ever asked yourself if you knew the difference in between power and authority? And I never really gave it much of a thought until recently. I heard a sermon and that was the question, and I realized that even though I understood some of it, I didn't really fully grasp the full meaning of power versus authority. And there are different ways of looking at this, and of course from a secular point of view there's a certain way, and it has to do with usually a role, and it has to do with a high role, and you have to be in a very high role to have authority to give instructions. And I can't really give, I mean, I have certain authorities and I can give you guys certain authorities to do something, but it doesn't count for much. But if it was, for example, the President of the United States to be able to give you a certain amount of authority, it would be a huge difference than the authority maybe I can give it to you, which it doesn't count for much. It's the same thing in the spiritual realm, and for those that do believe in that there is a God, so I'm going to kind of approach it from that point of view. And it's easy to confuse power with authority, and definitely I did that. And I never gave it much of a thought of what's the difference. And I knew power was powerful. I had an idea of authority being powerful, but I never gave it much thought about what's the difference in how much, how much power holds and how much authority holds, I guess. So, from a Christian point of view, power is actually a gift that God gives, and it's a pretty powerful thing. So it's not to be taken easily either. Because he gave, power to the angels. Demons have power. Satan has power. And so it's pretty powerful, and I think a lot of times it's almost like the dark forces understand better than we do the truth about power and the strength and the consequences of using that power. And I think we just end up being more confused than anything, trying to figure out what's going on. So, an authority, actually, it comes from a relationship, and you have to have a relationship with somebody in authority in order for you yourself to have some sort of authority. And, in the spiritual realm, is the closer you get and the closer you are to God, the more authority you will have. And it's the same thing in the secular world too. The closer you are with somebody in great authority, the more authority you have, and the further away you are, less authority to no authority. So it really works in both ways. And the amazing thing that I've learned, and please look into it yourself if you're interested into this. I think it's an awesome subject that I haven't really given it much thought until recently, since I've heard the sermon. But power a lot of times talks in the Bible about the miracles, and it's usually power is you add something. That's powers always add something. It's to add something, and authority is to remove something. A lot of times is like healing, for example. When Jesus spoke with authority and he healed with power and authority, because you can have power but not have authority, and there's a huge difference in having power and authority, or having authority. And if you have authority, I don't think you can have authority without the power. And but when you heal something, is the removal of something, the removal of a disease, the removal of bacteria, and just the removal of something. And I think a lot of times in the Christian realm, I know for myself, this to be true, is we confuse power with authority, and a lot of times we pray and you think that the louder you pray, or the louder you shout out, or the more power you express outwardly, then the better it's gonna work. But not realizing the whole time you're literally just getting exhausted and frustrated, because if you don't have the authority, then you can scream until you turn blue in the face, and not much is going to happen. So you have to have the authority. Once you have the authority, you don't even have to scream, because you know where you stand. You know the foundation that you're coming from. So you don't even need to scream, and it's just, I feel like a lot of times it's like, I'm not sure if this is a great example, I'm just gonna give it anyway. I see people that are just extremely intelligent, and versus the ones that think they're intelligent but they have no clue what planet they live on, type of thing, where I notice that the people that have a lot of knowledge, they don't have that need of showing off and explaining that they're knowledgeable or wise in certain areas, because they already know they are. So because of that, there is a sense of a good, healthy knowledge about that, and essentially a sense of strength, and so thus they don't bother wasting their breaths in trying to explain to somebody else how much they know. But the people that don't know, they seem to be the loudest in trying to impress everybody else around of how much they think they know. And they only come across obnoxious, foolish, stupid, idiotic, so on and so forth. So a lot of times, the ones that bark the loudest, in trying so hard to prove something that they think they have, most likely they don't have it, because otherwise they would have a sense of security about it, and they would not have the need to try so hard to show off to somebody else about the perceived knowledge, the perceived intelligence, wisdom, and in this, in their case, lack thereof. So that's my understanding. There is a subject that we can go on and we can talk for hours. I will not do that because these are short videos. But it's something that it will make you think about it. It sure is making me thinking about it, and you can always go into it and study as much as and in depth as you want to, because I have a feeling that it's something you're gonna find extremely interesting, of a subject. That is it. Have a great rest of the day. It's sunny outside here in Washington, so have a great rest of the day, and we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.